is set 5. This may be a ruling by WECG, and it may not be Superstore, so maybe Super said, you know what, I lost that game.
Yeah.
I dropped, but you know what, I would have GG'd anyways.
And
so.
you know what, with only one Phoenix there to kill that Oracle, Oracles do actually have a lot of hit points. Like, he would have gotten a lot more probes, and he would have been even further behind than what we even saw. So it was going to be nearly impossible for Super to come back from that one regardless. And so we go to Game 5.
Well, this is just what happens at WECG. We go to Game 5s and they're epic. So get ready, guys, for an epic Protoss versus Protoss here on Merry-Go-Round. Super versus Stats. Super drops out of the game, but can he get his wits together here? Because Stats now has all the momentum going into set number 5 here at the round of 8.
Up here in the top left in the red, it is Super.
There's a shot of him. And the top right in blue. For KT Rolster, it's Stats. Taking that win there in game number 4. Got easier than he expected. Shoulder-wise, not lining up well for him, but things just worked really, really well in his favor for the timing where the Phoenixes were. Both of these players looking really stressed out. I wouldn't give an edge to either of them, honestly, going into this 5th game.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to say. The more and more I see Stats in these like long drawn-out games, or rather days, instead of the Pro League format where he only plays like one game, he just seems to he charges up almost and gets stronger as we get further and further into the day. Like maybe he just gets more comfortable. You know, maybe he just is tired at the beginning. I'm not sure what goes on with him, but. Definitely seems like he plays better as the day goes on. Yeah.
Oh, I agree. You know, often Stats as a player, we only see get to do best of ones because he's mostly known for his Pro League play, where he does very well. And he has played in Code S before and done decently well, but he's never really had that greatest Code S run. He's never really considered a candidate for the finals. So this could be Stats this season.
Yeah.
He's never really had that moment. The same to be said of Super. I think he was in Code S once or twice. I don't think ever made it out of the round of 32. But both of these players are quite talented, and Stats, the longer the day goes, the longer the series goes, seems to look good. If he's ever having a rough time in the series, he's like a bit of a comeback king.
Yeah.
Tough to do in a longer series, especially. You know, you come back from being 0-1 in the best of 3, it's not that crazy of a story. Come back from being 0-2 in the best of 5, though, things get obviously a little bit more intense. It's a little bit more surprising that you're able to do that.
Yeah. Stats here had 2 and 2 in each of the gases, but now puts in 3 and 3. He's also got a pretty sneaky pylon down there in the bottom of his base that Super, you know, he may not see if he doesn't do a full scout of this base.
Yeah.
And, you know, something we used to see all the time on Habitation Station a little bit back in the day was players put that pylon all the way on the edge of the base and then just put a Stargate down there. So Stats, you know, he doesn't know exactly where Super is just yet, so he could just maybe be thinking, you know, maybe I put the Stargate down there, I get lucky, he's down in the bottom of the map.
Well, he sees these 2 pylons, and he might have noted that the second pylon was a bit late, it's a bit odd, but for him, he's got no reason to believe there's a 3rd pylon.
Look at the timing on that Twilight Council. Like, the second the probe is out of range, he, throws it down there.
Yeah, he knows he needs to, too, because with that 3rd pylon that he made that quickly, kind of messes with his timing a little bit. But as it is, you know, it's a quick Twilight, totally unscouted, like you said. And let's see what he gets done with it.
Super's going to go 3-gate. He's going to go back to his bread and butter build. He's already got 2 gateways on the way here. He's going to have 3 stalkers really quickly with that Mothership core. And we already see Stats out on the map trying to scout here, but he could get...
that line of sight blocker, though.
Oh, man.
Now that's starting to hurt. That Stalker taking a lot of hit point damage.
Has to run. Has to meet up with his other 2 Stalkers on the way.
Yeah. Okay, he's just going to loop around. And also, he doesn't know that his opponent's Mothership core is out there, so that comes into play here, too. Ooh, this is getting tense. 2 more gates on the way right now. 4 Stats. Just going to go ahead and start forcing little engagements here. He needs to be careful with that Mothership core. That high ground vision is everything with this. And, okay, 3 versus 2 now. And he, with that first warp and about to be ready, he's going to have so many Stalkers he can use here in just a second. Probe needs to make a more forward orphan point if he can. More forward pylon here.
Nexus Cannon comes down, baits the Stalkers in a little bit. Those Stalkers, he loses one even.
Yeah, that's because he took all those shield losses earlier. I'd have been a little bit more careful with that. It would have been a different story. He has to go Dark Shrine here, right? Because he just finished his own Twilight Council, and his opponent's Blink is way faster than his. But again, Stats gets a bit too cocky down the ramp. He's going to lose one of his own Stalkers. Does at least trade here. Now he needs to hide and cower behind this Mothership Core for a little bit longer until his own Blink is done. That was really scary there.
Really, really scary. And look at this. Counter Pylon in the natural.
Blocks that Nexus. And if I'm not mistaken, Super has a Twilight Council up, right? And he starts on Blink, but it's so late.
Yeah, way, way late. And he might even get caught out here. 3 Stalkers coming in here. Super making a Zealot here even.
Yeah, he wants to tank with that. He wants to get that vision so he can blink up.
Not into a concave up here.
Well, he can't even blink up because he doesn't have blink yet. I don't even know what he's thinking with that Zealot. I guess it just gives him vision so he can shoot upwards at least, but he's up against blink. And now you get chased with a blink even in just a second here with another warp in. Patience here instead. Just goes for the conservative blinks on the the pickoffs.
Somehow Super is able to like make that engagement even.
Yeah, there was a few micro mistakes there by Stats, but here come those Zealots now.
Well, Mothership Core is here, can put down that Nexus Cannon. That he does. We'll deflect those. Could even lead to just 2 wasted Zealots here. They're not really going to do much, and the Stalkers are going to be able to cut them off.
Yep. Shouldn't lose more than shields on these Stalkers. Pylon will go down, which will actually supply block him.
Ooh, Dark Shrine on the way here for Stats.
TT dropping, styling.
Styling and flexing.
We'll see, though, because he's taking a lot of losses here, and Counterblink is almost done. He can't be too cheeky with these Stalkers. He's really playing with fire here. Micro is good, though.
Micro is very good.
Gets that Mothership Core. That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the Warp Prism?
Look at this.
Supply blocked.
Yeah, Stats. He wasn't actually able to warp in anything because he's been supply blocked for so long. It makes 2 pylons now.
And even with the Observer coming out, he's not going to be able to make a Warp Prism for a while, so he's just going to have to rely on those 2 pylons, I guess. Would have liked, honestly, Warp Prism here. Because this is going to be probably scouted and denied. Sending a Stalker down, he doesn't see the first pylon, but the other pylon, or that's actually just the probe. The other pylon is so far away.
Yeah.
He can't even afford to warp in yet.
There he goes, first DT coming in here.
All right, let's see what Super does, because he sees that probe, he might be thinking, oh, something's happening. Okay, he doesn't see, he doesn't notice. He's actually going to probably not notice this at all. I don't think he clicked or even saw anything near this. He has no idea.
He has no detection back at home either. There's
This
not
is
going to
probably
be
just
anything
going to
to
end the
see
game.
He's going to sustain so many losses.
Because when he moves across the map with it, GG.
GG immediately.
And this time it was no DC. Stats, man, he makes the 3-2 comeback.
Wow. You know, not what I expected going into this one. Super was looking so good. It was looking one-sided, but Stats, he makes it work. He charges up, and he lays down the hammer later on in the series. 3 in a row there. That
was a huge commitment to resources for one DT that won the game. He had this feeling that Super was going to be stuck in his Super mindset. Just so aggressive, so attacky. Probably not going to have an Observer. If he has a Robo, he's probably going to have Immortals. Maybe I can get some harassment done. But if he doesn't have any detection, I win the game because he's got this bigger Blink Stalker Force that would kill me if he had detection. But I can just warp in DTs to help defend. I've got my Nexus Cannon to high bind as well. He won't be able to kill me fast enough. I'll just kill him at home. He'll never be able to get detection. And I mean, I suppose you could argue that maybe Super could have tried to proxy a Robo somewhere with a probe. We've seen comebacks like that before, but he didn't have any probes out on the map. He wasn't ready for that sort of situation. And honestly, I feel he was frustrated. So a warranted GG there.
Yep, definitely. Well, with that one today, we do have TY and Stats moving on. 2 KT players together, high-fiving, moving on to the round of 4.
Yep.
But, a bit unfortunate they will have to play against each other.
Sure. But, it's a win for KT overall for representing Korea. As moving forward, there's really high chance of seeing one of them. So here's our day results in full. We had Sejong go to Dark, and then we had TY take Deadwing and Catalan. Then went to game 4 on Merry-Go-Round. Dark's able to take that one as well. And an epic 40-minute long game on Foxtrot there, very back and forth.
Insane game on that last one. That's the one I would recommend, to all my friends. I recommend that you recommend it to all your friends, you guys out there.
Oh, you recommended recommendations.
Yeah, I recommend everything, man.
So,
but definitely the best game of the series.
Absolutely.
So back and forth. And here, Super versus Stats. Super takes 2 pretty quick ones there, looking very dominant, but then Stats says no, charges up, takes Overgrowth, Deadwing, and Merry-Go-Round right in a row pretty quickly, and we'll move on to the round of 4.
Yep, 3-0 victory there in a row for Stats. Just back-to-back, that comeback is pretty solid, and it's a very difficult thing to do. Super, I feel, being a bit predictable, and Stats really reading him well. Good preparation for this match. Tomorrow's matches, I feel, are way better than today's. Sora versus Zest in another PvP, and then Hero versus Byung in a PvT. So,
yeah, it's like, what more could you ask for?
Really, yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Well, I guess you could ask for Zerg, but that's about it, But still, it's going to be 2 epic matches.
You had your Zerg earlier. Zerg complainers. We had a Zerg today. Sora, the storyline there. Zest being the Kingslayer. Hero, obviously he's Hero. He wins a lot of big tournaments. He's great at preparing for a big best-of series. You look at Byung, and his story is the odd Terran out of the group of these players. One of 2 Terrans left in this tournament, and see if he could join TY in that round of 4 to make it a half Terran tournament. Then we have 2 Process and 2 Terrans. Considering the ratio we started with, that would be pretty great.
Yeah, would be pretty nice, man. Especially with all the Terran supporters. They want more Terrans. Could have a lot of Terrans come through.
Well, guys, we'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. Korean Standard. That's about 2 hours and 45 minutes before now. And you can follow the 2 of us on Twitter, Brendan Valdez and Proxy Wolf, and we'll see you tomorrow.